Welcome to the show, everyone.
All right. Hello, everybody. How we doing today?
Great.
What's going on,
Super
gents?
excited. Super excited. I'm so glad everyone could make it.
Absolutely. All right. So this is going to be our first official premiere stream for our Spelljammer campaign, based heavily on the Light of Xerxes module, but with a lot of my own writing, probably double, tripled the size of this campaign, this
Let's
module.
go.
So we're probably going to be playing up through, I'm hoping, roughly level 15 is the idea. But anyway, so I'd like to introduce our players for today's game. We're going to go ahead and start with Valen.
How you guys doing? My name's Matthew Roberts. I'm playing Valen Say. He's an astral elf with a storied past, and I'm excited for it.
Absolutely. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your inspiration and
Yeah.
the kind of race that you're playing, or not the race, but the class you're playing?
Yeah, I'm playing a fighter who's going to dabble a little bit into Artificer as he explores the cosmos with his new companions here. Some of my inspiration when I've been working on this character, it has been actually Corbin Dallas from the Fifth Element. A lot of obviously Han Solo. We're doing a space scoundrel-esque campaign here. So, a lot of inspiration. I've been watching or reading. I can't remember what comic that is. I feel bad bringing it up. But yeah, kind of scoundrel, lost his way, looking for the answers. Hopefully, his new friends and enemies will provide those answers along his story here. So I'm very excited to show and share everything we've been working on. And I think he's going to be a great character people are really going to love.
Absolutely. And then next, of course, we've got Tinman, played by...
Howdy, howdy. I'm Dayton Chevalier, be playing Timothy, the Satellite Kid, Tinman. My character is a monk auto-gnome, but he's not a monk the way you're probably used to seeing. I'm a bit of a munchkin, I've got a D&D past, so I know how to make the rules work for me. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Alrighty. And of course, we've got Szar.
I'm Josh Robertson. I'm playing General Szar. I am your insectoid, spacefaring pirate. I am a paladin rogue. I'm ready to hit the stars.
Aye, aye.
Let's go.
All right. Indeed. All right. And last of all, we've got Skarok.
So, hello, I am Alex Zupsik. I am going to be playing Skarok. I am a bugbear hunter from the wilds of a astral, almost planet-like world called Verdanth. Lost his way, on his way to Spelljammer Academy. See what's out there, what next hunt he can find.
There's going to be plenty to hunt out amongst the stars. All right, so before we get into the campaign itself, we got a couple of announcements. I'm going to pass it over to Matt.
Yeah, this is our channel's premiere, our show premiere. I'm super excited to share it with everyone. Please check out our socials. Our TikTok is up. I post daily. I follow back. I comment all the time. Please check it out. It's a DDC Live. Check us out on Instagram, Twitch. Wednesday, we should have the copy of this uploaded to our YouTube channel. So if you aren't able to join us live, if you give us a few days, we'll have it updated for your viewing pleasure later. That's kind of all the announcements I have so far. I'm super excited. I'm so glad everyone could make it. And I'm so excited to see everyone's hard work that they've been putting in these last few months as we've been getting this up and going. So thank you to everyone on the team and all the viewers. Thanks for watching and tuning in. I think we got a great story and some exciting adventures to go on.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the quick little intro blurb here. So the campaign as a whole, like I said, is going to be heavily based on the Light of Xerxes module. The campaign itself, I'm going to be getting into a more specific, better introduction down the line. But for the time being, with these 4 individuals, they are well known in the Astral Sea, specifically in the Great Belt, which is a very large wild space system where most of this adventure is going to be taking place. And most of them have, actually everybody here has some experience with the Great Belt and the people that live therein. But for now, what we're going to be doing is getting used to the characters and bringing them all together. We're going to be using the Spelljammer Academy little blurb, or not blurb, sorry, little module that they put together. And I've altered it pretty heavily to fit my needs and to really help it ease into the Spelljammer Echoes of the Astral Sea, as we're calling it, campaign as a whole. So there's going to be little nuances, a couple big changes here. There's going to be some knock-on characters that are going to exist past this, that are going to be, relatively influential amongst the party, depending on how they take to them. And but aside from that, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So everybody came to the Spelljammer Academy in a different way. That is a story that you are welcome to share with your party here if you'd like. But to get us started, we open up on the Spelljammer Academy, which is about a 2,000-foot tall rock pillar out off the Sword Coast. It's a distance away so that it can maintain its individualism, and so that way it doesn't get bogged down too heavily with the Sword Coast politics, because we know that there's plenty of those. Each character's been, like I said, introduced or invited here in different ways, and that is going to be for you to divulge as much as you'd like. But we're going to go ahead and start as we open on the Spelljammer Academy. It is a new day. It is early morning, so the sun is only just rising. And it's as the sun rises and the sound of the seabirds start cawing and singing that we zoom in on the sky dock at the very, very top of the Spelljammer Academy, where we find Szar lounging amidst the newly started and waking goings-on of the sky dock as Pick and Kip, the dock, basically the people that take care of the dock, the not investigators, but the inspectors, the dock inspectors, they go about their day, they're looking at all the ships, they're keeping an eye on everything, making sure everything's on the up and up, everything is skyworthy, seaworthy, and you just sort of see the 2 halflings, going around muttering to each other, finishing each other's sentences as you do, and the seagulls and other bay seabirds start doing their thing as you start to feel and see all the people start coming out to start work. You're nestled in a little net that's hung from an overhang. It's the one place where you could stay out of the way and was relatively comfortable, and you made yourself a very good-sized hammock up there as well. You can actually see that one of the Academy staff has come out and is just sort of looking around, talking with Kip and Pick. What do you do while you're here?
Is it safe to assume that the Academy teacher is looking for me?
They seem to be looking around for something. You're not quite exactly sure what. You're a little too far away to hear. But after a moment, you see that Kip, the brother of the two, sort of looks up and points to you. And it's at this moment that you recognize that it is Tarto, the bosun to the Spelljammer Academy. She's a well-to-do and well put together individual who has spent, as you can very well tell, I got a little handout here for you. She's a very well put together Hatazee who wears her armor or her uniform very meticulously well. She puts it, makes sure everything is polished. She's wearing it correctly, and you can see there's an ease with the way she walks around and looks around at everything that speaks to experience in this location, in her outfit, in her uniform, and all of that good stuff. But she seems to look up, or you notice as she looks up to you and waves for you to come down, just trying to get your attention.
Oh, then I'll hop out of the hammock and I'll start walking over.
Okay. The hammock is about 20 feet off the ground, so it's an easy drop to make. Would you like to roll an acrobatics to see if you land nicely?
Absolutely. What do we got? A 10.
All right.
First roll. First
Almost-
roll at 10.
Almost landed on 1 and it was about to cry.
We're starting off very average.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the pack. But yeah, so you managed to make the drop. It's nothing special. 20 feet's not that big of a deal. You're still sort of getting your land legs because you spent so much time out in the Astral Sea, and especially in wild space systems where gravity isn't exactly what it could be. But yeah, so you hop down and you see as she approaches, and recognizing your short history, she snaps a quick salute, and she steps up. Good morning, Szar.
Good morning, Tardo.
I see you made yourself comfortable at the sky dock. I assume Kip and Pick have not bothered you too much.
Oh, no. Way more open up here than in those dorms.
Fantastic. Yes, they do get a tad cramped. A lot of students interested in the academy these days. Everybody seems to want to go out among the stars. But speaking of, we have some other students who are interested in the tests that we are going to put you through, and I was wondering if you'd be interested in meeting with them today.
Sure.
Fantastic.
Delay.
If you'll follow me, she does a quick about face and with practiced ease and heads down from the sky dock with hands clasped behind her back. She leads you through the bridge and seems to be heading down towards the very bottom of the academy itself. So have you been making yourself at home?
Absolutely. Tied up this hammock, moved right in.
I'm glad to hear that. Have you met Crux yet?
I don't believe so, no.
Unusual. He seems to make himself known to every new face around here. 'Tis no issue. You will meet him soon. Have you given any consideration to my offer to come under employ for the academy?
I've considered it, but I don't think I'll settle on a decision yet.
Understandable. Like I mentioned before, there are some things going on in the Great Belt, and it'd be useful for us to have agents out there. And you are uniquely placed with what I would like to believe, a personal stake in what we are concerned about. That said, if you'd like to do the tests, you're more than welcome. It is non-binding. You have your entire freedom if you'd like. I know better than to try to rope down a former pirate.
I will be taking the tests.
I'm glad to hear. And I look forward to seeing what you can do with yourself. And
I look forward to seeing these tests.
you'll be meeting Tony very soon. No worries.
All right.
As you make your way down the Spelljammer Academy, the academy as a whole, you can see that through the stairways and hallways, all of the earth is very heavy packed. You can see that there's plenty of strata that runs down the hallways. It almost lends a natural guide that shows you which ways to go, where goes where. And sort of like the colors change a little bit as you get towards the bottom, where the water has more affected the sandstone and the denser stones and stuff like that, to sort of turn them a slight rusty red, as it were. So you're sort of getting a feeling of the academy itself. This early in the morning, there's not a lot of people up and about, at least not this far up. As you move through like the simulations deck and stuff like that, you can see there's some people up and about, mostly the staff getting ready for classes for the day. It's as you are, or she takes you down to the reception area at the very bottom of the academy here. And as you're heading down there, we're going to shift over to Timothy. Timothy, you open your eyes for the first time in a few days. Your recognition and understanding and touch on the world around you slowly returns. And the first eyes you see are that of Mr. Blip, the quartermaster of the academy and another auto-gnome. However, with your interactions with him in the past, you recognize that while you are unique among auto-gnomes in that you are particularly of the sentient variety, and that you are one among millions as far as you're aware, you might even be the only sentient auto-gnome. Mr. Blip seems to have something of either he's very well programmed, or you think there might be something behind those eyes. He seems to respond in a very sentient, I guess, a nuanced way that either is belied by plenty of time among people or a genuine sentience. You're not sure. But as he sees you come online, he sort of starts for a second. Oh, that was quicker than I was expecting. Hello. Welcome awake.
What's this, for the fourth time now?
Approximately 6 over the last 2 weeks.
Oh, you got that servo on the neck working. Oh, that's nice.
Yes. You had some dust stuck in there. Easy fix.
Oh, is that all that was? It felt worse than it was.
Perhaps dust is an understatement. There was a large stone.
That makes more sense.
Indeed.
Yes. Well, what are you gonna have me do? Look left, look right, invert my y-axis? You gonna shut me back down?
No, you are fully recovered and repaired. Commodore Crux will be here shortly to collect you up, and I wanted to make sure that you are up and ready to go. We just need to run diagnostics. Do you mind? He holds up. He holds up a plug that he reaches forward, puts a hand on your chest, and then slots it into a slot in your chest. Now, if you could just recite your name.
Yes. Is that my formal designation?
Whichever you prefer.
Oh. Timothy Tinman.
Thank you very much, Timothy Tinman. And now, if you could, he unplugs you. If you could walk around the room and perhaps swing your arms a little bit to make sure all your servos are up and running.
Gladly. I think I'm about done sitting on this table for a month now. Oh. So
Yes.
he's going to go ahead and stand up, start moving around, kind of give himself a small gait around the room, kind of fluidly moving each arm and joint, probably in a couple ways that, normal person couldn't. But that's okay. Just kind of, oh, wait. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Oh,
We're good. We don't worry about it. We're
Fantastic.
good. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought there
So
might have
who's
been a
this
seizure.
Commodore that you mentioned? What was that name again?
Commodore Crux.
Crooks. I think I recall that name.
You may. He is very well beloved around these parts. He's got a considerable backstory and history in the belt itself. However, that is
folks in the
classified.
belt tend to have a backstory, but we ain't in the belt, are we? This is turtle space, ain't it?
Indeed. The correct designation is realm space.
Right. Bit of a backwater either way. All right. So looks like I made it here in mostly one piece. I appreciate you for taking care of me. I admit that was not the landing it was supposed to be. I never got an explanation. How'd y'all find me? Like, did y'all detect me coming into space, or?
Typically speaking, a ship falling from the sky is easy to see, specifically when it's on fire and in several pieces.
Well, I suppose in actual wild space, yeah. In the belt, it's more common than you think. Very good then. Well, I guess I can't complain. I certainly appreciate it. Gonna kind of dust up the wooden varnish that makes up my mustache over my tin and brass face. Still, I get the feeling that this repair job wasn't going to be for free, was it?
I repaired you out of the kindness of my heart, and because I have the only equipment required to do so. It's as you're walking around the room that you look back and you see that you weren't sitting so much as you were in an apparatus that held you standing with your feet off the floor. There's sort of a frame that goes around and several like wires and stuff that hooked into you. You can actually feel the air going through your vents a little cleaner now, and sort of shooting out your back, but you realize that your back's still opened up a little bit. The panels are still off, and you can see that Blip has those on a table off to the side. If you don't mind, I will finish that up.
Yes, please. I'd like those back.
Of course. As he goes to put it on, you hear the typical zzz, as he puts them in and screws them in. I had the only equipment available in order to repair you. We do not get many auto gnomes around here, I suppose.
Yeah, you're quite a specimen yourself, aren't you?
That is very kind of you to say.
Out of the kindness of your heart. All right then. Well,
Well,
let's go
if
ahead
we're
and meet the
honest,
Commodore, shall we?
if we're honest, Mert suggested that I help you, and I owe Mert a considerable deal.
That makes more sense. Still, I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and meet this Commodore, shall we?
He should be around in a moment. It only takes another couple of moments before you hear a polite knock on the door frame, and you look up and you see a towering Gif wearing sort of like a wool green jacket and two ornate pistols tucked into his belt. His hat is a flat cap made of, you're not quite sure what it's made out of because it's so well worn. It's clearly a favorite of his. You see as he takes the pipe out of his large mouth and sort of brushes at the scruff on his chin. Well, hello there. Is this Timothy? Tinman, my apologies.
Most people just call me Tin Man. I assume you're the Commodore.
That is I am Commodore Crux. It's nice to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine.
I assure you it isn't. But anyway, I'm here to collect you. We have a meeting with the bosun down in receiving.
All right then.
And how are you today, Blip?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, Crux. Thank you.
Of course. Make sure to keep that under your hat, remember.
Yes, of course, Crux. Thank you.
Of course. Anyway, let us be about it. We don't have much time. And you see he steps out of the door and motions for you to follow him. If you'll come with me, Tin Man.
Can I make a couple steps forward? Stop a moment. Turn back around to Mr. Blip. You wouldn't happen to have got my firearm on you, would you?
All of your weapons and gear will be in your dormitory.
Thank you.
Of course.
And I'm going to go ahead and follow the Commodore.
See you soon.
Anyway, let us be about it. We've got a lot of walking to do, and these stairs do not do well on my knees.
I can imagine your knees don't do well on the stairs.
Indeed. Anyway, if you see an orange parrot flying around, let me know. I believe you've got better eyes than I. He's screwing around again, and it's very frustrating. He's supposed to help me with these, and I always forget what to say. Anyway, he holds out
I'll
a
keep an eye
massive.
out.
Well, thank you. He holds out a massive hand that's probably, you can engulf your entire arm. Formally meeting, I am Commodore Crux. It's nice to meet you, Tinman.
Gonna go ahead and put out my scrawny 2-bar prong robot hand, just made up of all of these loose leathered ligaments and gear popping, pieces, and kind of just get right in there with it. My hand is completely just gone under this man, but I'm gonna go ahead and give him the best I can.
Yeah, and like normally when you'd shake a hand, the thumbs would lock, but his hand's so large it just completely engulfs yours. But he shakes it vigorously. He shakes it vigorously, sort of lifting you off the ground a little bit. All right, let's be on our way. And he turns and starts heading down the stairs. And after we do this meeting, we will see about breakfast. Oh, you don't eat, do you? I apologize. That was insensitive of me.
Oh no, not at all. I enjoy the ritual, let's say.
Fair enough. As do I, and you will love Ryback's cooking. We've got a new cook, actually, which is fantastic.
Well, we'll have to take a look at that, won't we? Probably better than the swill I make.
Mine as well. I can only make potatoes.
I consider that a blessing.
And as you continue talking with him, you're heading down the stairs. Every couple minutes, he complains about his knees, but it's mostly to himself. He's not really complaining out loud. You walk past, as you head down, you walk past the cadet quarters, which has the mess hall and the refectory, the kitchen, and all of that. And in the distance, you hear, Skarok, we've got to have breakfast ready.
I swear, Ryback, if you put any more lard in my food, I will fillet you and cook you for breakfast tomorrow.
Oh, too much fat. You wouldn't have to put any lard in.
I would just have to go deeper.
Wait, are you serious?
Yes, right here, along the flank. And Skarok pulls out this gigantic chef's knife that looks almost like the blade of a giant glaive. Like it is not a knife, more as it's a hunting weapon. But you see him, he's deftly chopping these potatoes, and after he gets done, he wipes it on his towel and looks at Ryback and says, "Yeah," and just kind of gestures us up, and you just see scars upon scars all up the left side of his body and on his face.
I see. Well,
I jest, Ryback. I'm not going to eat you yet.
Well, that is heartening to hear. So, what do you have planned for today to spruce up the food?
Well, today, as you see, he's basically spiral cutting these potatoes now. It's gonna be simple, just some wings and some potatoes. We've got some mollymawk wings, and you see a pouch on the table next to him, and like a cartoon, he just reaches in and starts pulling out these frozen birds that he hands over to him. Like, thaw these out. We'll fry them in a little bit. And it just like he pulls out about 20, 30 birds out of this small sack on the counter and just cinches it back up.
He stares at you. That never gets old. That's incredible. Where do you get it all? I forgot I asked.
No, you asked a good question. It's like, we hunt. Soon, I'll need to replenish it a little bit, so hopefully I can get out of this kitchen and away from your grease. Man, vegetables, find them.
Well, that's where the flavor comes from. Vegetables taste like wood. And vegetables won't keep you going when you're on a ship for several months. At least that's not what I've ever heard. Anyway, you see as he...
Skarok is kind of like giant face palms and said, "You are hopeless, Ryback."
But there's a hope for everyone. You see as he opens up this sort of shell, that's like like probably a foot wide by a foot tall. He opens it up and you see that it's two different like clamping pieces of metal. And he sets the bird, the mollymawk that you handed him, he sets it inside, closes it up, and he grabs a like a little ring that's hanging on the wall next to him, and he presses it against the metal, and you see the heat metal spell start to heat this little shell as he thaws the bird. Well, this will only take a moment. But anyway, I believe... Oh, yes, Crux should be coming by shortly to pick you up. That he seems to be doing the rounds to collect everyone up.
Oh. Then, yeah, he will take his chef's knife that he was, just cutting and kind of wipe it off and head over, grabs his... On the wall, you see this gnarled piece of wood that has a very intricate contraption wrapped around it. And he takes a blade and he kind of slides it in, and you see me adjust a lever, and it goes from being a spear to like a scythe. He goes, make sure it's locked in, and he just puts it on his back and heads towards Crux.
All right. It takes about a second while you're putting that together. You hear the telltale cling clang of an autognome approaching, and then the footsteps of a heavier gentleman, which is of course Crux. He steps past the dormitory into the refectory where you meet him, and he looks up and he's like, "That is one devastating looking weapon. You said you were from where?"
Small planet asteroid called Verdanth. It's a jungle paradise.
I've heard of the Verdanthes. They're a hunting race, are they not? Specialized bugbears?
Yes, well, the nobles, you could say, are more well known. Us of the lower portion, not so much known outside. We don't see the outside world much.
Well, consider yourself welcome to the Spelljammer Academy. I've got the feeling that you're going to see quite a bit moving forward.
I look forward to it very much.
And if you would follow me, I've got one of your, we'll say, classmates with me. This is, well, would you like to introduce yourself, Tinman?
I think you just did. Howdy.
Indeed.
Tinman, I am Skarok, the hunter. And try to give a description of the character for you. Before you see a 6 foot tall built bugbear, like muscles, but different than your classical, more leathery skinned bugbear. He is almost fur, but underneath you see the classic pattern of humanoid flesh. But yeah, scars all up and down his body, as if he was in a fight of sort. But if you look close enough, they're not wounds from weapons, more so bite marks, claw marks.
So, less
sorry,
dog, more beast.
Yeah. So yeah, and he just greets you, like, Tin Man, nice to meet you. What brings you here?
Kind of imagining a beast from the X-Men here.
Yeah, to a degree, yeah. Like a big teal beast with like a white stomach and brown highlights,
and just covered in scars.
Yep.
Skarok is a unique bugbear, hailing from a different planet, the Verdanth, as it were, who have developed thicker, denser fur than normal bugbears and more canine features due to their heavy hunting and just adjusting to that lifestyle, getting them used to, and getting them to basically taking over a predatory role.
Observe, DM. I'm taking notes.
Indeed. So after a moment, you see Crux look at his wrist that has no watch on it. Oh, but it seems we have to get going, gentlemen. It's nice for... actually, Timothy, would you like to describe yourself to Skarok?
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, it's fine. We can go ahead and start moving. Kind of eyeing him up and down. Mind you, I am an auto gnome. I am very small, so I'm yeah. With hat on, I'm maybe maxing out 3 feet. So kind of looking you up and down. I gotta say, you're actually on the shorter side of some bugbears, but I ain't see one built quite like you.
I will take that as a compliment.
Of course, you're looking down at this auto gnome. He's short. His limbs are spindly. His body is actually a little rotund. He's kind of got like a boiler belly going on. So he's sort of got that Doug Dimmadome build going on. So little limbs, little spindly hands and fingers. He seems to be kind of made up of steam pipes and rivets and mixes of silver tin on bronze brass. Uh, Various leather straps kind of holding him together with little gears kind of clicking around. But a lot of it's well covered in what's his clothes. He's wearing clothes, whereas most autonomes tend to kind of be built fully apparent. He's actually lacking a lot of plating. So to kind of cover that up and be less skeletal, less naked, he's wearing just actual adventurer leathers, and he's got a rather nice hat with a set of bullets in it, and got an empty holster on his side there. So you can tell he's been to some places, he's done some things, but he's definitely a little ragtag for an auto gnome. But you can feel some warmth off him. He's got a certain life behind those eyes, which not a lot of auto gnomes do.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's kind of eyeing you and making a couple quips here and there, but it seems to be all good fun.
So Skarok, this kind of comes like, your kind always still. I'm surprised. There's no blood, no meat. I cannot eat you. What? You're an interesting kind, Tinman. I look forward to knowing more about you.
We function off ambition and ingenuity, my friend.
Much like another friend of mine. Shall we? And we just continue on.
Yep. Crux leads the way. You can hear that he's sort of got his head tilted as he listens. He's not being very sly about it. He's very curious about you, both of you. You're both very much oddities from where he's from, which is here basically. But you're very much oddities. And don't worry, Szar, we will be getting back to your description. Trust me. So as you're heading down,
actually, saying that, is Szar with us right now?
no, he's walking with Tarto down to
got
the
it.
reception.
So I thought he was here already. Never mind.
Nope, he's with Tarto right now. So you start heading down. You get to hear the cacophony of complaints from Crux about his knees, despite being basically nearly or just over 7 feet tall. He's very stout. He's got stocky legs, and you can see that he kind of struggles after a couple of flights of stairs. But he doesn't seem to be brought down by it at all. You get down to the gymnasium here, and you follow the stairs down from the cadet quarters, and Crux takes you down this long, narrow hallway. And up ahead, you actually hear the sounds of exertion. You can sort of smell the inlaid and general sweat of people working, being physical. You can smell the weapon oil and that sort of stuff, just sort of mixing in with the earthen smells around you. You walk up to the gymnasium, and Crux, who basically takes up the entire hallway at this point, it's a long, thinner hallway, steps up and stops right at the entrance to the gymnasium as he looks in to see what he seems a little shocked at what he's seeing. And ahead of him, he sees an astral elf who's currently shirtless, sweating, and he remembers that you're behind him and steps out into the gymnasium so that you can see what he's seeing as well. And what you see is
you see Valen here. He's trying to get a morning workout in. He's a rather big build for an astral elf. He's spent some time kind of honing his body, focusing on it, training the last 6 months or so. You see he's kind of walking over to the bench, grabbing his shirt to throw on. It's about this time. He sees himself in the mirror, and over his corner he can see the Commodore enter in, and he immediately engages with them. Commodore, I've been waiting for you. I'm excited to start these tests. I don't want to delay too much longer.
Nor do I. In fact, we're heading down there right now with who's likely to be your test mates.
Really?
And he motions towards Skarok and Timothy. Would you like to describe what they see, Valen?
Yeah.
Or your general aesthetic?
Yeah.
Your look.
Yeah. So he's a much bigger built elf.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, you already did that.
Yeah. But no, he eyes up Skarok and kind of sees the scars on him. And you've seen battle, my friend. This will be fun. And he kind of looks over his shoulder, and like you see his jaw go like really, really far down, and then he meets eyes with Tinman. Wow, you're a bucket of bolts, eh?
More sturdier, you won't find.
All right. Well, don't let my training delay this, Commodore. Lead the way. I'm eager to see what test you have for us.
I won't lie. Your description. I'm getting some strong Top Gun volleyball scene vibes.
Yeah, he's like you
Yeah,
definitely
what-
catch him like as he's walking and throwing his shirt on, like checking his flex, making sure he got a good pump, and like throws this shirt over his shoulder. Lead
So
the way,
what were you-
Commodore. I'm tired of waiting.
What were you doing? Like what kind of
What kind of
exercise?
exercises?
I was actually practicing footwork for my weapons training. So it doesn't look like much. It's a lot of quick movement, sweating around a lot. But you know, I'm trying to stay away from the actual weights and stuff. I've spent enough time training my body. I just need to prepare my skills now.
Man's out here doing space kung fu.
Yes, absolutely.
Skarok just kind of like, as he's doing it, just kind of crouches down and just watches, like
Yeah,
It's like-
it's quick.
kind of nodding, like, okay, studying.
Yeah, and as you watch, you
Studying.
can see some so the footwork. There's a pattern to it. There's steps to it. There's movement. I don't have any weapons out, but it's deliberate actions and steps, and you know it's pretty intense.
You move well, elf man.
I appreciate it. Big guy.
I
Very regimented. A lot of self control.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's like because Skarok is just used to the primal fight, like kind of it's like seeing essentially it's like interesting, kind of clock is like if we get a chance I wish to cross blades with you just to see. I've not fought something like that.
I would love to, big guy.
Hey, look, somebody actually comparing fighter to barbarian and saying, "Wow, they're different."
Ranger.
Listen, the way he's explaining Skarok, I mean, he can be a ranger. That man's a barbarian.
Yeah.
You're not convincing me otherwise.
Yes.
To see the lamentation of their women.
And I'll kind of finish up my workout. And yeah, I would expect another fighter who's with that many scars to be able to smell the sweat, like almost that pheromone of like testosterone and like how, you know, yeah, like you can feel it in the air.
You're not killing the Top Gun volleyball scene
Yeah.
allegations here. I'm letting you know that now.
That's fine. Yeah.
The musk of
honestly,
combat.
he's a-
Skarok's furs puffed up a little bit to look just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and as I throw my shirt over my shoulder, there's a volleyball under it, and I just kind of kick it off to the side. And I'm like, Commodore, Let's get moving here. There's pressing matters to take care of.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the direction this is going in.
Cold as ice. That man's
Ah.
cold as ice.
You will be meeting Tony very soon. Follow me. And you see as he turns and heads back down the hallway, heading southward. As we're going, I believe Tarta will explain this shortly, but there are security measures in place at the Academy right now. So I will require you to be mindful of those as we are going. If you do not have access, you will require one of the staff members to be with you if you are to enter one of those areas. And it's actually as you're heading down the stairs, you're a little bit ahead of them right now, Szar, that Tardo's explaining the same thing. She's a little more tight-lipped. She doesn't explain that there's... well, I guess Crux does explain that there's been some worrying issues happening around the Academy, so we only ask that you follow these rules clearly, and we will treat you with respect in kind. Tardo simply says, there is security in place for a reason, and we expect you to stand by that. She's otherwise relatively tight-lipped on the walk down. But anyway, so as you head down the stairs, you're taken down to administration. You enter the reception room. Yes, very much angry moth. You're taken down to the reception room. Off to one side, you can see that there is a Thrycreen in a little booth, sort of writing down papers. She's got her two main hands are shifting papers around, and the other two are just sort of up on the desk writing things out as they go. And you notice as she looks up as Szar and Tarto enter, but she doesn't say anything at the moment. And then a couple minutes later, Crux enters with the rest of you. The place has got like a nice rug on the ground. It's very well trodden. There's a lot of people that come in and out of here. So it's nothing super fancy. It's literally the reception room, the very first room you walk into when you leave the sea dock, as it were. But as the rest of you enter, you see that Tardo's already standing there, hands clasped behind her back at ease, and she is watching the doorway for you to enter. It's about time you arrived, Crux, fashionably late as always. And you can see that there's an affectionate ribbing happening here. Yes, yeah, well, you know me. I like to sleep in, and I always like to take time for a smoke. How are you today, Tarto?
It is bosun when we're in front of the students.
But they're not students. We know that. They're here for the quick tests, and they get back out in the Astral Sea. Every one of them is as capable as you and me, and we both know it.
True, but there is protocol to stand towards. Specifically, we should get them set up with their security measures and their wristlets. As the rest of you follow in behind Crux, you can see that another Thrycreen is standing there with Tarto. Szar, would you like to describe yourself?
Yeah. You guys see, I'm probably about 5'10". Thrycreen. I've got a sick pipe hanging out one side of my mouth. Probably about a pale green. Dressed in what looks to be pirate clothing. Coat, hat, boots. Typical pirate gear.
I'm totally picturing a insectoid Jack Sparrow.
Honestly, similar road. I was thinking an insectoid Davy Jones.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
That works too. A-okay.
You can see that Tardo and Crux are distracted in conversation for the moment. Crux turns around and says, Valen, you should tell him about the time in the tavern that we had the one time. Just sort of half-handedly, like, hey, talk to the other guys for a second.
Yeah, I look up and down the new party. Commodore, the recruits here, I know you speak their praise here, but a bug, a bucket of bolts, a giant teddy bear? Are you sure this is going to be the team?
Hey.
Bold words coming from an elf.
You with the pointy ears and lack of fur, I would watch what you say.
Oh, we'll see you soon here, big guy. And kind of like a friendly, like sporting kind of like get ready for the test. I'm ready to push myself type deal.
Alrighty. As your conversation sort of dies out, the quick little jabs that you are, Crux turns around and he's holding a piece of paper, and he goes down the line. He hands each of you one. This is a 50 gold voucher for the shops. I believe, Tinman, you've already been acquainted with Mr. Blip, our quartermaster. You
Good
will...
people.
Indeed. He's fantastic. Very knowledgeable. If you ever have any questions, I recommend talking to him. But if you find yourself the extra time this evening or while you're here, I know some of you have been here for a few weeks already, but if you find your way to the storefront, you can use these to purchase anything that you need for your time here at the Academy. The usual fare, your usual normal weapons, stuff like that. Blip is an eclectic collector, so I recommend checking. If you ask him, please ask him about his firearm collection. He adores those things. It's one of my favorite collections on this side of realm space.
I'll take you up on that offer.
He doesn't use them, to clarify. He just collects them.
Teach
But
them.
So if you stop into the storefront, I suggest speaking with Mr. Blip. But for now, we have a tour. And you see Tardo turn around. Actually, they need to be getting into their first test. So let them have breakfast. Then we'll do the tour afterwards. Yes, I guess I was running a bit late. My apologies, gentlemen.
And I kind of interject and it's like, no need to worry, I brought breakfast, and I'll hand out some of the mollymock wings that I had been cooking from earlier. And I will specifically give one to Valen and one to Szar. I have the chef feat, so during a short rest or like a long rest, I can prepare 2 treats. If you guys choose to eat them, you both get 2 temporary hit points.
Ooh, that's nice. Szar just immediately cleans it to the bone so quickly.
With very creepy sound effects to those
Yeah.
mandibles, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like Skarok will kind of come in and is like, you sound absolutely disgusting when you eat, but you seem to a man who enjoys good food. I like you, Bug One.
I heard that entire sentence in Gordon Ramsay's voice.
I'm
dry.
gonna hold up the chicken wing and kind of look at it. Valen kind of feels like I don't need to eat food of a beast, right? And he's just gonna kind of hold on to it till no one's looking, and then
I definitely ate that bone and all.
and then set it bone and all, and then I'm gonna kind of like just set it down, like untrustworthy at this point.
Seeing you going to set it down, you actually see as you go to place it down somewhere, Crux's large hand goes underneath it. I'll be taking that. You see, he just chucks the entire thing. He chucks the entire thing in his maw,
He was
and you just hear
eyeing it the whole time as soon as it came out.
yup, and then just swallows it. After it's crunched up a little bit, just swallows the whole thing. Oh, that's just delicious.
Hearing this, Skarok just calls back, Crux, how was it this time?
Was fantastic as always, Skarok. However, there's something about I don't know, maybe it's the shipman in me, maybe it's the captain, but something about Lard and Salt that just does it for me.
You just see like a shiver run up Skarok's spine, says, Crux, I like you, old man, but I threaten you like I threatened Ryback. Bring the lard and the salt, and I'll gut you like a fish.
That sounds like an incredibly fun challenge. Perhaps one day.
Valen's
He
just
seems
taken
way
back
more
by
up
this.
for it.
It's
The
like
whole
it's like
scene.
he was like, Crux is pretty big, like thick as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, he's heavy set. Well, he's a GIF, so he's naturally very bulky. He's about 7 feet tall. If you looked at him straight on, you would assume, like, between muscle and just body density, he's probably somewhere around 300, 350.
Big dog.
Wow. So yeah, just look at him like, and I'll kind of poke him in the stomach. It's like, I don't know if my knife would go all the way in. We'll have to get you on a diet, make you a little leaner. It'll taste better.
You see him pat the gun at his side. You'd have to get to me first.
And I'll just laugh, and it's like, I only jest. It's like your kind reminds me of an animal we ate at home.
Oh, I'm not sure if to take that as a compliment. Were we tasty?
Very.
It's a compliment.
Indeed. Well, I'll have to try that one day.
Valen's completely taken back from this whole conversation. It's
Same.
absolutely like low-born nonsense, and he's like, Commodore, please.
Yes, my apologies.
Wait, hang on there, Commodore. Valen,
Yeah.
I'd see you don't like meat, I take it.
I
Elf.
don't dislike meat.
Now, I've heard a lot of elves do the vegetarian thing.
No, fair. And he'll reach in like
Let him speak.
I
Don't finish.
I don't dislike meat, Skarok. I just dislike the meat you've prepared for me out of a pocket in your clothes here.
It does have
Pocket
philosophy
meat is
vibes.
sometimes the best, so I'm told.
Tinman, you want
Fair
to eat
enough.
it, buddy?
Your loss, my friend.
I'm just saying.
But
I've
shut
heard
up,
that
shut,
pocket
I
meat-
will. Valen, I will earn your trust. You will love my cooking.
Hell, I've eaten pie I dropped on a ship deck.
Love through the stomach of an elf is a rarity in my culture, but I welcome the challenge.
Challenge accepted. And he gives you like the graceful like chef's bow.
And I just kind of turn and look at Commodore like, can we go?
You see Tarto behind him clear her throat. She brings a hand up. Ahem. Oh, yes, my apologies. Let us be off. And he sort of raises a hand and heads out the hallway. To Tony! And as you're walking, he looks back over his shoulder. He's like, I think you guys are going to love Tony.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome back to the stream.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
back.
Alrighty. So, as you are heading up to the simulation chamber, like I said, you're walking through and sort of trudging through the bustling, waking morning of the academy itself. Crux sort of gives you a quick laydown on or rundown on what's about to happen. You see, we don't usually start with combat. That's a lot for a lot of newer students. So we're going to test your reasoning abilities and your abilities to move unnoticed or at least intelligently. We cannot have those that are making unnecessary and unruly risks working on, the things that we need them to work on.
And I'm gonna
Within
push
reason.
through everyone and be like, "Let's go, let's do it!" Like the most non-sneaky, like nonchalant way.
Crux looks at you and like, yes, exactly like that, like a GIF would do. As you get up to the simulations deck, you can see waiting at the top of the stairs is a very well-dressed, a well-dressed and well put together individual named Serth. You would have seen them around. You can see they've got a very immaculately put together pompadour. The sclare of their eyes is black, with the color of their eyes is like a very smooth purple, or not purple, silver. And they got a sort of like an ethereal grace about them. Just the way they move seems to be almost weightless. As they see you ascending the stairs with Crux. Ah, hello there, Crux. How are you today? Oh, I'm doing great, Seth. How are you? I'm doing fantastic. Any day I get to put the newbies through the ringer is a good day for me.
Good to hear. Is Tony ahead? Yes, Tony's already set up. Fantastic. Well then, let's get these 4. He looks down at Timothy. 4, my apologies. Into the simulation chamber and get them started. They've got... Are the other new recruits here? Yes, they're already ready as well. Fantastic. All right. Well, I'm going to hand them off to you, Seth. Enjoy. And he looks at the 4 of you. You're going to do great. Don't think too hard. Do what you got to do. And he tries
I never do.
Perfect. The gift way. I think I'm going to like the 4 of you even more. He turns and trudges down the step, giving Timothy a big old thump on the back. You're going to do great. Seth, take it easy on him. Well, don't, do what you can do. I don't know what you're doing there. It's all magic to me. And he sort of disappears down the stairs. You turn around, and it's at this moment you sort of see, you can see like this crossroads in the main hall. There's a doorway directly ahead, and then 2 to the right. And you can see in the simulation chamber that there are 3 chambers. They don't have any doors on them. Well, they don't. The doors are open, I should say. And in the right, you can see that there are 3 individuals who seem to be getting ready. They're checking their gear over. One of them is a human with darker hair. Another one is another Thrycreen who's got like a dark blue mottled green carapace with like bright green eyes. And then the last one is a let me find it really quick. Oh, the last one's another plasmoid who's sort of got like a pale blue-green coloration to him. And he's wearing like a blue necktie, like worn in like almost the Fred Jones Scooby-Doo style around his neck. And it's actually the plasmoid that looks up and notices you. And you see like 2 of his pseudopods are working on something, but a 3rd one comes out of his shoulder and just waves. He's probably like 50 feet away, so he doesn't say anything. He just waves. Oh yes, that's me, Ken, and the other students that you're going to be working against today. So I think you're. Oh, sorry, this is supposed to be Seraph. That is me, Ken, and the other 2 students of his squad that you're going to be working against today. They have the advantage of working together since they started at the academy, as where you 4 are being thrown together haphazardly, if you will. However,
and Valen's gonna look around and look at his team and like kind of roll his eyes like, oh man.
Timothy is going to put you through your paces, and well, all you have to do is head to the left there down the simulation chamber, and we'll begin.
I will lead the way and kind of look back at the group like, well, let's go, guys.
All right.
As you enter the simulation chamber, you can see that there are, like, the ground itself is sort of got hexagons all over the ground, and then the dome of the simulation chamber has a similar plating around it. You can see that there's a spot towards the southern end of the simulation chamber that's got marked off hexagons, and it just basically says stand here within it. You hear Seraph yell from the main hall, just find your places, we'll begin shortly, you'll know.
I'm going to take the first step out and try to lead the way, and I'm a little obvious about it to be quick on my feet. And a lot of my military training in the past kind of kicks in as I just get to the spot and stand at like a parade rest as I wait for their instruction.
I'm gonna find the nearest bench.
There's no benches in here. In fact, the entire thing is barren except for those spots to stand.
Not surprised.
Alright,
The
guess
bug
I'll
brain
sit on the
likes to
floor.
sit down right away.
Skarok just kind of looks around. And you said it's barren, like it's nothing, just wall, like metal walls. Just suddenly feeling really open, like okay, and just kind of saunters over to his spot. I'm guessing our names are written there.
So what you see is in a few of the hexagons spaced, about a foot apart, there's a yellow
sort of paint around the edge of it, and in the center it says "Stand here." There's 2 sets of 4, so there's enough for 8 people to stand in.
Okay.
So you can pick whatever one you want, but they all look identical. It's yellow paint around one edge that says "Stand here."
Okay. I will take the one next to Valen, just kind of stand next to him, kind of look at him, look him up and down, like he's got the parade, like looking quite, regal and like a proper soldier. And Skarok just kind of looks him up and down and gets kind of like that hunting squat going.
Yeah, I don't break my gaze. I'm kind of just sitting there, parade rest, waiting, but I can feel him look over me.
Okay.
I'm gonna very specifically stand behind Skarok.
All right. So you're standing at a sort of a inverted L. So we got Skarok, Valen, and Szar standing at the front, with Timothy standing behind Skarok. Correct?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right. Cool. So as you're standing there, you hear a faint counting down from outside, and you just hear the 3, 2, 1, and then the entirety of the world around you shifts. You look down, and your feet aren't on metal anymore. You're on what looks to be a craggy rock of some sort of shale of sorts, and just a little past that, an inch in front of your toes, it's just a drop off. Like, it's just space, like just pure black. You can see stars in the distance, space. What stretches out ahead of you looks to be a path of asteroids, all sort of set up in a concurrent path, sort of shifting out a little bit. And a couple of them are crystalline, a couple of them are porous. And you can look over to your right and you see that the other cadets, the 3 that you saw in the other room, are standing about, get this specific, standing about 150 feet to your right, roughly how far would be to the other simulation deck. And you can see they have a similar setup, though the makeup is a little bit different. The rocks are of various sizes, but in between there are sizable gaps that are very relatively easy to fall in. Though you also feel that the ground itself your weight is a little lighter, like it's a lower gravity environment. And actually, as you look over and see the other 3, you see that the plasmoid again is waving.
Valen kind of looks over and just like shakes his head and kind of like he's out of the parade rest now, and he's kind of stretching out as he feels the low gravity kind of reach, and it feels a familiarity, and kind of gets ready to move if he needs to.
Skarok leans down to Timothy and goes, are those plasmoids always that friendly?
Most of the ones I've met, yes.
Lock it up, you two. Focus. Come on.
And it's
Skarok just side eyes Valen. Aye, Captain.
Focus on what? We haven't been given instructions yet.
I was just about to ask, is someone going to explain what we're doing here?
And it's at that moment you hear a voice chime into your head. It's Serth's voice. Hello, cadets. Welcome to your first test. Every one of you has some experience in the astral sea, but we're going to see what you can really do. Ahead of you, you will see your 2 individual paths. And I recommend looking at those rocks a little closely. There's some interesting effects, like a whistle stone and, well, we'll call it crack glass. Timothy, you're actually aware and familiar with crack glass. It's also known as cracked crystal. Basically, when you step on it or put any pressure on it, it sort of shatters a little bit, like it cracks inside and makes a very loud cracking sound. It doesn't break, it just cracks a lot. It maintains its surface. Today, what you're going to do is you're going to approach Tony. If you look ahead, and as you look ahead, you see that there is blindfolded a spectator. This is Tony.
Tony cannot see you. But your goal is to get to Tony and then get back to your starting positions. Tony's got
Anyone
some
else
tricks.
see that head over there?
Tony's got some.
Hard to miss it, big guy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What is that?
Forgive me. Aberrations make my bolts crawl.
Should get some Loctite on that bozo.
Little WD-40. So Sareth continues. Tony has some tricks up his sleeve. If you make too much noise, then chances are you're going to end up right where you began. But if you're smart and maybe even quiet, you'll be able to reach up, place a hand on Tony, and once all of your team has done so, the first team out wins a prize. Is everybody ready?
Absolutely.
Without
This
waiting
is
for
a
an answer,
team
you hear,
event.
go.
Oh, God. I'm going to look back at the other guys and ask them if any of them have any specialty in this as I, start to, get light on my toes and try to get a little quiet walking around.
How big is the gap between this and the first rock? What do we got?
About 15 feet.
15?
So, just because I got to be difficult, and this is
You
our first foray together, I'm going to go ahead and make a stealth check while they're talking.
Alrighty, go for it. And I would also like everybody to roll initiative.
Ooh, let's go.
I was actually gonna say was gonna lean down to Timothy, and if I know
I got a crit.
The dice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congrats, our first natural 20. I mean, it's not initiative, but hey. You know,
Take it where you can get them.
yeah. All right, so Szar, you got a 23 with a natural 20. I rolled
Yep.
a 18. Nico rolled it. Oh, sorry. Skarok rolled a 13, and Tinman, you hit an 11. All right.
Yes. So let me make sure I got everybody in the right order. All right. So Szar is going to be at the top of the turn order. Szar, while Valen is sort of just starting off, everybody's sort of talking as Sareth says go. What do you do in that moment?
In that moment,
Sorry.
You're good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say when noticing Tinman stealthing, I'm going to do the same.
Okay. So I'll have. Okay. So
Good God.
Tinman, did you roll yourself? Go ahead if you haven't.
Gladly.
These dice are garbage tonight.
Okay.
Not much better.
No.
All right. So as far as you're both aware, Tony has yet to see you. So, Szar, what are you going to do with your early turn here?
I would like to leap to the next rock.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check for me, please. And I'll give you advantage because it's stationary.
Thank God.
Ooh, boy.
Oh man.
Come on, Szar. Little
I got a
better.
12.
All right. You make the leap. You're used to this kind of environment, so it's not difficult for you. You land solidly. You feel the rock give a little bit and float a little bit to the right, but otherwise it stands firm. You had rolled an 8 on your stealth. What's your AC again?
Mine?
Yes.
I didn't roll stealth.
Oh, I misheard. Oh, Skarok, sorry. So what is your AC?
Oh, my
AC
AC.
is 18.
Okay. You see a quick bolt flash past your head as you land. You can go ahead and move your character, but it seems Tony is firing on you.
All right. Duly noted.
All right.
He's
Are you
already
doing
saw
anything?
you?
I will attempt to hide from him now.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your
Roll
stealth.
that stealth check. With a 17.
Okay.
So the shot goes wide, and you manage to crouch down, and you actually notice that ahead of you, the rock, the asteroid in front of you, sort of is lopsided, so that the higher part is upwards and kind of naturally covers you. So you feel very confident in your location and your ability to be unseen and unheard at the moment. Is there anything else you're doing in your turn?
No, I think that's gonna be it.
Okay. Skarok. Timothy, you're coming up.
Yeah. I am going to. And you said it's 15 feet to each of the different rocks, right?
Correct.
Then yeah, I'm going to head over to the other rock.
All right.
You need me to do an athletics check as well?
Yes, please.
With pleasure. This should be +2, so that's a 19.
Okay.
I have expertise in athletics.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. So yeah, you make the jump clean, easy peasy. You're a little. This is new for you, jumping through like weightless space. It's not entirely new, but it doesn't happen often for you. Yeah, you make the jump really easy. You land quietly, and you can sort of see around the corner that there is an open eyesight to Tony. Then, what are you going to do with the rest of your turn?
No, that's it. Because it's 15 feet to jump.
Yep.
So then, yeah, then I guess just kind of slide up and get prepared to jump to the next one.
Alrighty. And then, for those of you that haven't gone, so Timothy and Valen, you can see across the way, Mikan tries to make the jump as well, and almost flawlessly makes the hop and moves up around the edge here. You can see them openly, but you can see that the majority of them seem to be crouching. You see that as Mikan makes that, he crouches back down against the oblong asteroid here, and then the plasmoid goes. You see him use his unique physiology to sort of ooze over to the next rock. It seems that his intent is to be taking this slow and even, trying to avoid making too much noise. And they finish there. Go ahead, Timothy.
So, I am going to go ahead and basically move in the same direction as Skarok.
Hey, real quick, I didn't make it into turn order here. I'll go after Timothy.
Oh, okay. Let me add you to the turn order. What did you roll?
18.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure that you go next.
Yep, all good.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take the left meteor there.
Okay. Go ahead and make your athletics check to get across.
Is there any chance I can finesse it a little and make it an acrobatics check?
Can I toss him?
You can absolutely try and make an acrobatics check if you're looking to be a little fancier with it. And you did roll a decent stealth, so go ahead, see what you can do.
Gladly.
Now, Mark, sorry. Remind me, we have to get there as a team and back as a team, or just one of our members?
You each have to individually make it and get back.
Got it.
Fair enough.
That's a 25, DM?
Yes, I see that. Would you want to add a little stank to that?
So, watching as they bicker and start moving ahead without even consulting each other, I just kind of assume that, all right. And I'm going to kind of stealth using Skarok as sort of my cover. And then as soon as he takes off, I'm like, that's my cover. And I'm going to go ahead and follow him, make a running leap, kind of tumble over myself like a pile of junk, go into a handspring, and just leap, flipping over onto the next one as quietly as I can.
Alrighty. You actually, for a moment, you hear clapping, and you look over and you see that the plasmoid, like 2 extra tendrils, come out, and they're just like, and it's exactly then that they get struck by a bolt from Tony for making the noise. You see that a ray just comes in, it blasts the plasmoid directly in the chest, and you see as he just literally just poofs from existence. And a moment
That
later,
man's dead.
he shows up back here.
Oh, thank God.
Well, you thought that the Academy would put you in absolute peril against a spectator first thing? I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
There's always
All
a
right.
chance.
Skarok seeing that genuinely just went, oh shit.
All right. So, Timothy, are you doing anything else on your turn?
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get over onto the other rock.
Yep.
And I'm going to saddle up sort of beside Skarok, staying as quiet as I can, and kind of look up at him, whispering real quiet, like, they said that these rocks ain't necessarily what they appear to be. That over there, Shatter Rock. You step on that, gonna make a whole lot of noise. I get the feeling that some of these more porous rocks up here in front of us is gonna cause some trouble. Let's look real careful where we step before we go jumping anywhere.
Aye.
And then I'm gonna no-look jump for the rock that Szar is on.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your athletics.
Yep.
0 concern.
Good lord.
0.
All right. So as you make the jump, Szar, you see you didn't use your other actions or anything. You see Valen go to take the leap, and his foot slips out from under him. He sort of tumbles, butt over tea kettle forward. He actually misses the rock and continues to float forward. Was that outburst in character, Valen?
Yes.
Okay. What's your AC?
My AC is 18.
Never mind. Well, not never mind. Thank you. So Tony makes another shot, and you see it hits the rock in front of you, but you sort of bounce off of this upturned rock and sort of float up this way a little bit. You are free floating right now.
As I make the grunt, I kind of like grab my mouth and like hold it in as it really hurt. And I'm trying to like not move at all, like just float there and see how sneaky I am. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Like I'm just hoping no one.
Maybe if I don't move,
Yes,
he won't
yes.
see me.
Yeah.
It's totally, he's T-Rexing it from Jurassic Park. He's
Yeah.
like, if I don't move.
Or it's like he's heading up towards Tony, and it's that one meme. It's the with the reach. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, he's
Oh,
fine.
yes. Oh, yes. That's even better.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so Valen's back in the right spot. So you see, or the other off of this other side, you notice the other Thrycreen makes a motion, a verbal. They mouth something you can't really tell, and
The Thrycreen does?
the other Thrycreen, correct?
I don't know what they're mouthing.
Well, like they're chitters. You can see that there's some sort of well, you'll understand. And they disappear in a poof of smoke and then appear right there. They've used the Misty Step, which has a verbal component. So they made a verbal component with the chitters.
Makes
Magic.
sense. Understood.
But they're on top of this now. Let's see if they roll a decent. Okay, so it seems that Tony isn't noticing them at current. We're going to be coming back to Szar. What are you doing, my guy?
I'm going for that next big rock.
All right. With your current athletics, or current athletics, I'm going to let you have it. So you could see that the rock in front of you goes up another 5 feet.
Yeah.
So it's not a difficult jump for you. But where exactly are you trying to get to?
I'll just land on probably the closest part, the easiest part to jump and land on.
Okay, it's going to be a bit of an upward jump, but you can definitely make it relatively easy. I will need you to make a stealth roll to see if you're being quiet.
Absolutely. How quiet am I? With an 8.
Oh my God, these dice are terrible
I
tonight.
know.
And your AC one more time for me.
18.
Okay. The ray goes worrisomely close, but it does miss you. Skarok and Timothy, you look up, or Tinman, sorry. You look up and see the ray go probably 2 feet above your head. Are you doing anything else on your turn?
Closer to 5
Yes,
feet
I
for
would
me.
like to walk as far up on this rock as I can go,
Okay.
so I can see over the edge and try to plot a course forward.
Absolutely.
Mark, just above the table here, are these squares 15 feet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, correct. They are intentionally large.
Got it. So yeah, I'm just making sure that we basically are moving roughly 3 squares each turn. Cool.
Yes, this is not Dead Stone Cleft. All right.
That's a reference to a different campaign.
So Szar, you're making your walk up there?
Yep.
Okay. That will be all of your movement. You do see that towards the end, after the last rock, there is a large gulf. It's about 45 feet wide, and it seems that with the low gravity, you're not quite sure how to get over there, but you're used to this kind of stuff. You kind of get the idea. Valen, or were you doing anything else with your turn? I apologize.
Nope, that is going to be all for me.
Alrighty, Valen, you're floating a little bit aimlessly through space, as it were. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I feel really stupid, and I'm gonna kind of close my eyes and just focus, and I'm gonna use my starlight step, and it's gonna transport me 30 feet
Yep.
in any direction, and I'm gonna kind of just pop up right here behind Szar, and kind of try to get some cover behind him.
Okay.
And that's all.
Starlight Step doesn't require movement, as far as I'm aware, and it's entirely silent because you're not actually moving into the landing. So you're entirely silent. You don't need to make a stealth roll here. That said, you do still have movement.
Ah, perfect. That's good to know. Yeah, I'm gonna take that movement to move 15 feet up on his left, and inspect that next rock in front of me to see if it's a safe jump.
The smaller one that's flanked by the other 2 rocks.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's see here. Right there.
This,
Yeah, that.
oh,
that-
this one.
If I can reach that big one, I'll go for it. But I don't know if I have the space. But yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
be like high kneeing it over to the first one.
Okay.
To, kind of push off it next.
Gotcha. So the larger rock seems the safer route. With the shift that you felt on the other rock, the smaller one seems like it might move out from under you.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Then, if possible, I'm gonna make that jump.
Yep. Go ahead, and I'm gonna have you make an athletics check for this one.
Perfect. On your way. Hey.
All right.
Hey,
You make it relatively easy. Yeah. It's an easy jump for you. You notice
16, man.
Indeed. Yes, good 16.
Yeah.
You make the jump, and you notice as the rock shifts forward a little bit and bumps into the other one. And the reason they're called whistle rocks is immediately clear.
Oh no!
The rock moves forward, and as it moves through the air, you hear a gentle whoo as it makes a vibrating noise and whistles.
I
as it
kinda
moves.
like-
The whistle tips go woo.
yeah. I kind of just close my eyes like, not again, Valen.
Let's see, it's just a rock. So the rock is immediately nailed by the teleportation ray, and it is teleported back to the start.
It's not just a rock. It's a
It's
boulder.
a boulder.
So that rock's no longer there? Or just
Correct.
me?
That rock is no longer there.
Alright.
But you're on the bigger one, so you're no, sorry, it was the smaller one that's gone.
Okay.
So you hit this one.
I don't know how to get rid of it.
I got you.
Oh, thanks. Yep.
So you're here,
Yep.
and that rock has drifted off to the northwest and disappeared.
Okay.
Teleported back to the beginning. Is
Okay.
that your entire turn? Oh, go ahead, sorry.
That's my turn if I didn't if he didn't see me, but the whistling rock.
No, he saw the rock, didn't see you.
Perfect.
All right. Moving on to Skarok. Timothy, you're coming up. Alex.
Oh yeah. I look down at the Tin Man, Tinman,
Yep.
shall I throw you to the next rock?
Gonna kind of eye him up real good for a second.
And he just kind of flexes like, arm big. I throw you far.
I want to make a perception check. Take a look at the next rock. What am I seeing?
Which rock are you looking to throw him to, Skarok?
I was actually tempted to see if I could get him, because he's about 3 feet. He's not that heavy. To the rock in front of Szar.
So to this one up here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and make the I'll let you choose if you want to make a straight strength saving throw or a athletics check.
I'll do an athletics check.
But really quick, Timothy, if you want to make that perception check for me.
Yeah, I'm going to eye up that rock real quick.
Mhm.
And sort of like a pair of goggles kind of come down over my eyes. So thanks to an item in my inventory, I get advantage on perception checks that are based on vision.
Nice.
Indeed. And what is that item?
It is a wondrous item. If I can control my character sheet here for more than 5 seconds. It's the Eye of the Eagle. And for the purposes of Tinman, they're basically a pair of sort of like steampunk goggles. So I'm going to go ahead and get a feel for what he's trying to throw me into.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So you can see that the larger rocks seem mostly solid. The smaller ones are going to shift a little bit under your weight, especially if you're you have propulsion behind you. But the big one here, you can actually see that there's small veins of crack crystal in it.
Okay.
But you can sort of see that if you land, you know that enough about crack crystal that if you step lightly, and being a small creature or lighter as you are, without too much push, you might be able to land on it safely.
Okay. I'm going to let him throw me. But I'm going to stress, do not throw too hard. We are in low gravity. Just a little bit of propulsion goes a long way. You understand me?
I got you. Tinman.
All right.
As I throw you, I say, as I throw you, looking down, I'm going to pick up a chunk of rock and hand it to Tinman and ask him to aim at one of the other rocks. Like if it's got, like what he's worried about, said, if you see it on the other rock, try and hit it. Let's create a distract him one way as I throw you another.
You got some keen senses on you, don't you?
I spent many a day in the wilds.
All right. I'll take the rock off him.
All right,
make it
and
happen.
then yeah, I'm gonna. Dear God, dice, please work. Let's go.
Come on.
24.
Woo!
All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So with the 24, Timothy, I'd like you to make your ranged attack to throw the rock, and where are you throwing it to? And we'll go through this entire thing in one go.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and make a, just a ranged attack. I'll go ahead and use my unarmed strike that I have pre-programmed here, since it's going to be the same stats regardless at this level. And I'm actually going to aim for this rock here.
Okay.
I don't know what its deal is, but it's the next closest rock. The line of sight is away from me, and I don't like the way it looks.
Aye, aye. Go ahead and make your attack.
Nice.
Ooh,
24.
Another
Get it.
24. Dang. All right. So the you take your throw. It hits the rock as you're mid-air. You manage to make your float. You realize that the way he threw you is a little close to the lifted rock here. So you actually sort of Skarok, being as good at this as he is, actually gets you on a curve with the throw. So you kind of go out and come back in.
The dude just threw me a curveball.
Yeah.
Literally.
He literally threw you a curveball. And go ahead and roll a D8 for me.
You know, for being thrown by someone, I gotta say, this is probably the best throw any small creature has ever gotten.
Yeah. Timothy, can you roll a D8 for me?
Absolutely. That's a 7.
All right. So the way you hit it, the rock is actually going to start floating this way.
Momentum. Science.
And if you'd like to make a quick stealth check to see if you land quietly.
Gladly.
Actually, no. The way he threw you, you land perfectly. It's smooth even. Like you almost touch down and only barely make a mark in the dust on the top of that asteroid.
All right.
Butter.
Nice.
All right. So the Skarok, it is actually technically your turn. So
Yeah, so that's my action. I'm going to use my action to throw Timothy. And so, yeah, and then I'm going to leap across behind Szar.
Yep.
And
Okay.
do you want me to roll another athletics check?
nah, with your current athletics check, you're good. With
So,
a 24, you're pumping on all cylinders. Your adrenaline's going.
So, yeah, just kind of narrate it. So, Skarok kind of like gets down, grips the rock, like one side of the rock with one hand, looks back, reaches under Timothy's, where his rib cage would be, and he just says, like an arrow. It just tells like Timothy kind of like straighten out, and just chucks him straight across the rock. And as he throws him, like you just see him kind of go, and he lets him go. And with one hand, he just like rockets himself off the other rock, flips and lands behind Szar.
Very nice. Just making it look easy.
Honestly, more like a bowling ball than an arrow, but I mean...
You see that as each of you land, the whistle rock that was knocked away by Timothy is immediately sent back to the start. Are you doing anything else on your turn, Skarok?
Nope, I'm done. That's it.
All right. So ahead, Mikan leaps and tries to float up here and fails miserably. He slips and tumbles much like Valen did and is hit dead on by Tony and sent back to the beginning.
Poor Goo Boy.
No, that was Mikan, not the Goo Boy. But it is Goo Boy's turn. So he slinks back to the spot he was in, and it is your turn, Timothy. You're coming up, Szar.
All right. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead. So there's just a gap in front of me. There's no other stones between me and the next possible spot.
Correct. You see that the platform that Tony is on is a little more not naturally hewn, more intentionally hewn. It looks more like a pedestal, basically, like
Right.
a victor's pedestal.
So, 3-dimensional here. Is there a side that I could cling onto or an underside, possibly?
Of the stone you're on?
No, of the stone he's on.
Oh yeah, it's about 10 feet thick.
10 feet thick?
Yep.
Okay. So, what I'm actually going to do is, at this point, it's all or nothing. There's no other way to get over there easily. I'm moving straight into the firing range. So, we're going to go ahead and kind of settle down the front side of my meteor. I'm going to kind of get down off the top of it, position myself kind of hanging on to it here, and I'm going to kick off, and I'm actually going to aim not for, the top, but for the side. I want to get under his firing range.
Okay. That will call for an acrobatics.
Let's go.
Get it, Tinman. Oh, nat 20.
Another
right.
crit.
It's Christmas around here.
Let's go.
So yeah, your entire plan goes off without a hitch. You're so quiet that actually Valen, Szar, and Skarok lose sight of you. You're clung onto the side with just your fingertips over the edge. And Tony, you can see that Tony's sort of oriented, looking at the other group as they had just fired at them, but seems no wiser of your presence. They're about a couple of feet off the edge, and as Sareth had said, you are meant to lay a hand on Tony and then get back to the beginning.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull myself up quietly.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any rocks on the ground?
You can see that there's some like rubble and gravel just disparately. Are you looking for something big enough to throw?
Yes, I am.
Go and make a survival check.
Oh, another nat 20. Let's go.
Another one.
I swear these dice aren't weighted. They're virtual.
Oh, those are some dirty dice, my
That's
dude.
incredible. Remember to watch those
Dude.
dice, my guy.
Don't hit refresh. Don't turn off your computer.
Never.
All right. You see that the almost as you think of it, the rock that you're holding on to underneath one of your hands sort of shifts and comes free, and you've got a palm-sized piece of like dense, almost cement-like rock. You found a rock.
All right. See, I'm going to go ahead and pull myself up, and I'm actually going to try and position myself.
All right. Hold that thought. It is going to be. We're moving past your turn now because you've done your movement and your big actions.
Understood.
All right. So you, Skarok and Szar, you can see this the best. You see the other Thrycreen sort of back up, take a careful running start, and then launch themselves to float freely towards Tony, almost entirely silent.
Oh my god.
That's what I was about to do.
A little bit of grace.
All right. So the you see the two of you can see it the best, but you see the other Thrycreen floating freely through the air, sort of on a downward arc to land next to Tony. And that will be their turn. So Szar, Valen, you're up next, followed by Skarok.
You already know that's exactly what I'm about to do.
All right, go ahead and make
Back
your
up.
athletics.
Take a nice run and start. Come on, give me something good. 17.
Alrighty. You see Scar behind you, but you find the place to plant your feet, and you give one good push, and you're soaring. Go ahead and move 60 feet in whichever direction you'd like. Oh, sorry. 100 feet. So you can get just to the edge or right on Tony.
Tony.
I'll land pretty much right on him. Hey, how's it going?
Okay. You could see like as the brow over top of the weird blindfold it's wearing sort of raises up on one side. Oh, hey there. I'm Tony. Who are you?
I'm Szar. Nice to meet you, Tony.
Oh, it's nice to meet you. You see one of his spare tendrils comes up, going for a high five.
High fives it.
Great. Now get back, or I'm going to shoot you.
I'll work on it.
Cool. Good luck, wherever
Thank
you
you.
are.
You're doing a great
And
job out here.
Oh, I
I'm literally
appreciate
just
that.
I'm literally just looking at Szar like,
I'm gonna whisper down to Tony. Also on your left, there's another Thrycreen coming in somewhere.
Oh, how high up?
Would I say he's about eye level?
Ah, funny. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Me asking the
I
DM
just
for
got
his
it.
relative location.
is he eye level? I
you'd
don't
say that
know.
They're about 5 feet above eye level.
They're about 5 feet above your eye level.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate
Yeah.
that. And you see as one of the tendrils comes up, and he's going to get... Oh, good. He's going to get advantage rolling a 19 plus a 4, so 23. and you can actually see Timothy from where you are. You can see the betrayal in the Thrycreen's face as it's immediately blasted and sent back.
Brother!
Send him back. Go directly to jail. Don't pass go. Do not collect $200.
Yeah.
Szar is totally doing the coin trick in front of Tony with like the pirate coin trick.
I appreciate the help, but I'm not technically supposed to have you helping me out. But anyway, head back to
Well,
the start.
I just happened to have said something and you overheard it.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Anyway, that was fun. Thank you.
Yeah,
You see any others getting close?
not presently, no.
Oh, your team must not be doing good if you're the only one here.
I was the first to make it.
Ah, well, hopefully they do better. Anyway, have fun. Watch out for the
Yep.
crack crystals.
See you on the other side.
See ya. So yeah, he goes back to sort of surveying the area. Valen, it's your go.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my final Starlight Step. Get the 30 feet up to this rock up here, and then make that final jump over to the last rock there.
All right, go ahead and roll athletics.
Yep. Come on. Hey. Let's go. 22.
Very good.
Nice,
Goodness
nice.
gracious.
22.
All right. I'm gonna have you roll a stealth to keep it quiet.
Yep.
The jump is flawless. We'll see if it's quiet.
It's not very quiet.
Distracted as he is, I'm actually gonna let you roll with advantage. I didn't think of that
Let's go.
because Szar is talking to him right now, so his audio processing is shot. As it were.
Okay.
Very
All
All right,
nice.
there we go. 18. That's solid.
Yeah. So
Timothy, go
I
ahead.
kind of like do a quick solar step, and you kind of see me focus, and then just in the dark disappear, come out on another rock, and you see me already in like that superhero stance, ready to like jump, and I just
flash.
make the jump.
Very nice. And you make it flawlessly. Go ahead and point out where you're gonna land.
Just right by Czar's shoulder. And what's up, Bug Brains? Watch out. And I'm gonna go up and tap Tony. What's up, Tony?
Oh, hey, how's it going? Which team are you
Jesus.
from?
What the hell? Is that your real voice?
Hey, don't be mean.
I'm not. I was just
Aw.
surprised.
Anyway,
And I'm gonna like slap him on the back and like kind of turn to leave.
alrighty. Yeah, get back to the beginning quick before I start shooting on you too.
And I'll give him a look back and kind of like a head nod and get ready to go. Like I was one of the last here, but I don't want to be like the last to leave.
Right. All right. And Skarok.
All right. Seeing kind of what the Thrycreen did and what Szar just did, he's starting to put it together, and Skarok is basically just gonna similar like launch himself off of the rock, but leap of faith, knowing that he's pretty confident that he's going to go farther than what he usually jumps.
Alrighty.
And I'm gonna try and basically launch myself next to Szar.
All right. Go ahead and make your athletics check.
25.
Let's go.
Very nice. All right. So talk me through it.
So yeah, same thing. Just basically after throwing Timothy, he's doing this like rock hopping, and he is just like full force launching him. And on that last rock, he sees where Timothy jumped from, and he realizes either way he's got a long distance to go. So he just leap of faith and just kind of like leapfrogs off of the rock, but as quiet as possible. And he basically wants to land next to Tony.
Okay. Roll yourself.
And he reaches up, touches Tony under the belly, grabs one of the tendrils, and just looks at him and says, "Shoot me."
I see. Sure, with pleasure. and you can see that the eye is closed, and for a second it opens up. You're blasted, and you're sent back to the beginning.
Oh, nice move. Oh, yes.
I hope that counts.
It counts. All right. But anyway, you see Timothy look down, or not Timothy, sorry, Tony, look down at Szar and Valen, and it's like, hey, your teammate's pretty smart. Maybe you should listen to him.
I'm going to also make a big noise and hope to get zapped.
Oh, you're just making it too easy, and he zaps you.
Bang!
Oh, me next. Me next.
Oh, absolutely. They said I had to shoot at anything that makes noise. Zap.
Just gonna kind of stand up, touch him, howdy, and then just drop the rock.
Where did you come from? Anyway, and you're sent back to the beginning. And it's as you reach the beginning that the you look back down, and the illusion around you fades, and you're standing where you started, in the exact places you started. Across from you, the other three are standing there. You can see that the Thrycreen is livid, like they are.
Don't even look at it.
Yeah, you could see McKen sort of sitting on the ground, just completely dejected. Fred's looking over, just like he's got like 3 extra sets of hands that are all just clapping. Like he's like, that was incredible. That was amazing. That was my favorite thing in the world. You guys are my heroes. Is sort of the energy he's giving off. But the Thrycreen is just whipping their gear all over the place. They're absolutely livid. It's at this moment that Sareth walks in and says, "That was fantastic. That was one of the best tests I've ever seen, to be intentionally shot by Tony. Oh, you 4 are going to make it. You're going to do great." And I think
Skarok just does the touch like
big brain.
Yes.
And with that incredible victory, I think we're going to call it there for the night.
Yay!
Thank you,
Hell
everybody,
yeah.
for tuning in to our first stream.
Yes.
We're going to be coming back in 2 weeks.
Yep.
We should have this up on YouTube in the next few days, ideally by Wednesday, depending on how quickly I can edit it.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for being here with us for our start, and
Yes.
We're looking forward to a lot of new and fun, or a lot of good games in the future.
Yeah, super excited. And our last TikTok post broke 100,000 views. Like
Way!
yeah, like right.
Nice.
when we got started.
Let's go.
I was trying to get one at 100K views before the stream. In like 10 minutes into it, we broke the 100K views on one of our posts, and it's really cool and exciting. I hope we're all super excited. And,
Oh,
and honestly,
awesome.
thank you to all you guys for partaking in this, putting so much time and effort and making these characters and helping each other bring them to life. So kudos to you guys. Thank you so much for showing up and taking this crazy ride with all of us. So good job.
And again,
I
thanks
had
to
so much
everybody
fun
for
tonight.
watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
2
Yep,
weeks.
it's only up from here. We'll see you in the
ya.
verse.